Part 1: The Luminous Abyss. Floating in the vacuum of space is less magical when your spacesuit is leaking air, but that wasn't the scariest part. The real terror lay in the fact that the leak was my own damn fault. I had chosen this mission. "Great job, Marcus," I muttered, voice barely a whisper in the suit's helmet. "First week as captain and you're already deep frying yourself." The mission was supposed to be simple: investigate an anomaly that appeared near the remnants of the long-abandoned Devor Station. The station had been a bustling hub of trade and dubious deals before collapsing into disrepair 20 years ago. I remember my father speaking of it in reverent tones when I was a boy, tales laced with shadows and echoes of forgotten glories. Now, it stood like a skeleton against the stars, a fragmented memory of civilization's reach. Our ship, the Wayfarer's Hope Asterisk, was a trusty freighter, not exactly the pinnacle of innovation but sturdy enough to get us from one end of the galaxy to the other. My crew was compact, a word here meaning we're stretched thinner than vacuum-sealed dinner, consisting of Talia, our sarcastically gifted engineer, Lynn, a pilot with a penchant for finding loopholes in laws of physics, and Rollo, an AI that had a strange affection for vintage Earth stand-up comedy. "Hey Marcus, you look like someone just stole your sandwich," Talia crackled over comms as I clung to the exterior panel like a barnacle. Her voice was a touch of home in the void. "They did," I grunted, "and they left me the crumbs." "Don't worry, Captain, just breathe easy." "Wait, no, don't do that either. You're low on oxygen." Talia laughed, and I could almost see her wry grin. Her humor was my lifeline. The anomaly was unlike anything we'd expected. A swirling mass of luminescent gas, alive with tendrils of energy that flickered like sentient fireflies. I'd reached out, captivated by the cosmic ballet when the panel tether snapped. Now I hung, tethered only by my rapidly diminishing air supply and a prayer to any cosmic entity listening. "Lynn, any chance of a quick pickup?" I croaked. "Negative, Cap'n, the scanner's throwing a tantrum." Lynn's voice crackled with static and urgency. "Seems like this anomaly's messing with our systems. You're gonna have to nudge back yourself." I took a breath, a shallow one, mind you, and used my suit's thrusters to push back towards the ship. The luminous gas danced around me, its beauty juxtaposed against my rising anxiety. Behind it, Devor Station loomed, parts of it glowing with an eerie light that suggested activity where there should have been none. "Keep your eyes peeled, folks," I said, engaging my suit's manual controls to realign with the Wayfarer's Hope Asterisk. "Devor's got ghosts." "Copy that, Marcus," Rollo chimed in, his voice an electronic hum. "If you see any, tell them I said hi. Loved their last gig." As I made contact with the ship's airlock and stumbled inside, the station's glow intensified, revealing a series of flickering patterns like a message broadcast from the past. Yet it felt calculated, deliberate, a distress signal. "Lynn, Talia, I think Devor's calling for us," I wheezed, collapsing into a seat. The airlock hissed as it sealed, pumping fresh oxygen into the chamber. "More like haunting us," Lynn replied, her fingers dancing over the console. The Wayfarer's Hope creaked as it approached the anomaly. It enveloped us like a storm, and an unexpected jolt rattled the ship, tossing us about. "All hands on deck," I shouted, scrambling to my feet. "We've got incoming." But it was too late. A crackling energy burst from the anomaly, wrapping around the ship. Systems flickered, lights dimmed, and the familiar hum of the engines faded into an unsettling silence. My heart pounded in the void. Talia rushed to the engineering console, her nimble fingers orchestrating a rapid symphony of diagnostics. "It's like nothing I've seen before. It's beautiful," she breathed, her awe mingling with tension. The ship shuddered, then a hauntingly melodic hum filled the air, vibrating through the hull, resonating in my bones. A projection flickered to life, painting the air with translucent figures. They were alien, non-humanoid, spectral forms with elongated limbs that shimmered with the same luminescent glow as the anomaly. "Friendly, you think?" Lynn asked, her voice thin with forced bravado. "Only one way to find out," I said, stepping forward, ignoring the alarm bells ringing in my head. "Open comms. Let's see if they speak human." As the translation filters engaged, a chorus of harmonious sounds filled the cabin, resolving into a voice both ancient and wise. "Travelers, you are welcome." The ship's console erupted with a flurry of data, alien codes, and symbols cascading across the display. Information, coordinates, a map. Whatever it was, the anomaly was offering something: a pathway, a request, or a warning. "Marcus," Rollo said, his syntheti. See voice uncharacteristically somber. "I believe they're showing us a way through the anomaly, or into the heart of Devor." The decision loomed before me, a choice between retreat and exploration. Yet I knew it was a turning point, an irreversible step into the unknown. "Prepare the ship," I commanded, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. "We're answering the call." Engines hummed back to life, the ship aligning with the coordinates gifted by the spectral guides. As the anomaly rippled around us, anticipation and dread braided together in my chest. In that moment I felt the vastness of the universe, a dance of chaos and wonder beckoning us onward. And with a final breath of clarity, I plunged the Wayfarer's hope into the luminous abyss. Part 2: The Veil of Echoes. The Wayfarer's hope plunged into the anomaly's vibrant embrace, and for a moment the ship was suspended in a kaleidoscope of light and sound. The universe twisted at the edges of perception, a ballet of colors that defied every law I knew. It was like falling through a sky of stained glass, each shard a moment in time. Then, with a jolt that rattled my teeth, we emerged on the other side. The cosmos reasserted itself, stars winking into focus as the fabric of reality stitched seamlessly closed around us. I exhaled, unaware I'd been holding my breath. Ahead, Devor Station sprawled in the void, transformed. Where once had stood a desolate ruin, there now hovered an enigmatic megastructure, pulsing with alien energy. Tendrils of light arced between its towering spires, and vast crystalline spheres rotated in rhythmic patterns, casting prismatic glimmers across the station's surface. "Marcus, are we seeing what I'm seeing?" Talia's voice was a tether in the vastness, pulling me back to the present. "If you're seeing a reborn Devor with a light show that put any Terran city to shame, then yes," I replied, eyes scanning the intricate network of energy pathways. My mind spun with possibilities. Were we in the same time, the same place? Had the anomaly been a portal, or had we crossed into another dimension? "Captain, I've located a docking bay," Lynn said, her voice calm despite the awe in her eyes. "Looks like whoever or whatever is here wants us to pay a visit." The ship responded eagerly to Lynn's deft touch, maneuvering toward the station's open berth. As we approached, the tendrils of light shifted, curling around us like a welcoming embrace or a spider's web. I pushed that thought aside. "Rollo, keep an eye on systems," I instructed. "Let us know if anything seems off, and if they start serving us tea, be sure to run it through the toxin filters." "Always a safety-first guy," Rollo quipped, injecting a note of levity into the charged atmosphere. The docking clamps engaged with a soft thud, and Talia, Lynn, and I made our way to the airlock, anticipation and trepidation tangled in our steps. As the outer door swung open, we stepped into a corridor that was a fusion of futuristic design and alien aesthetics, glistening, organic surfaces melded with sleek technology. Feels like we've walked into a museum exhibit curated by someone with a flair for the dramatic, Talia remarked, waving a hand at the bioluminescent patterns on the walls. Or a very elaborate trap, I countered, though my voice carried a hint of wonder. The air was cool and gently perfumed with a scent reminiscent of earth after rain. It was comforting, and yet too perfectly attuned to human senses. We moved deeper into the station, our footsteps echoing in the hushed corridors. Every corner revealed new marvels, intricate mosaics depicting alien constellations, statues of creatures that might have been the station's inhabitants, and windows that opened onto vast chambers of pulsating energy. Rollo's sensors flickered to life as we rounded a bend, displaying a series of symbols. "Captain, these are coordinates, a star map. It seems to point to a place of significance." "Significance, you say?" I mused. "Well, seeing as we're already trespassing, might as well follow the breadcrumbs." There was a gravity to the discovery, a sense that we were unearthing secrets buried beneath time's sands. Following Rollo's guidance, we navigated a series of corridors that twisted like the veins of a leaf, leading us into a vast chamber. It was a dome, its apex lost in shadows, with a celestial map projected onto the curved walls. In the center, a monolithic console glowed with energy, beckoning us closer. As I approached, tentative and aware of the potential for catastrophe, the console flickered to life. Images and data cascaded, detailing stellar phenomena, cosmic events, and then something unexpected, an image of Earth, floating serene and solitary in space. My heart skipped. "This is a repository," Lynn whispered, awe-stricken. "A library documenting the universe, and Earth is part of their records." "Seems we're not as insignificant as I thought," I replied, touched by a strange mix of pride and humility. The universe, vast and infinite, had taken notice of us. But then, as if sensing our presence, the imagery shifted. An alien figure appeared, a being of light and shadow, its form forever shifting like smoke caught in a breeze. Its presence was commanding yet gentle, and it regarded us with an intelligence that seemed to pierce through time. "Travelers," it spoke, words resonating in the air like a chorus. "You are welcome in the Vale of Echoes. We are the Ilarian." The realization hit like a comet. "You're the ones who called us," I said, stepping forward, the weight of the moment bearing down. "We sought those who could hear the call," the Ilarian replied. "A cosmic threat approaches, unknown and relentless. We need allies, understanding, unity." The revelation deepened. This was our purpose, our reason for being pulled through the anomaly. Beyond the mysteries, the station, and the awe lay a challenge, a protector's call to arms. "And what do you need from us?" I asked, heart drumming with anticipation and a flicker of fear. "The key to our past and your future," the Ilarian replied, its form shimmering with resolve. "Hidden in the heart of Devor, beyond the light." With those words, the universe expanded before us, a tapestry of possibility and peril. One choice had led us here, and now another beckoned, brighter yet more daunting than the first. And as the Ilarian's light bathed us in its glow, I knew we stood on the brink of something that could reshape the cosmos, and us within it. Part 3: Threads of Destiny. The Ilarian's words echoed in the chamber, a melody with layers of meaning that entwined around my heart. A cosmic threat was approaching, and the solution lay hidden in the station's depths. This was our quest, and the stakes felt insurmountable yet invigorating. "Seems like the universe has thrown us into the deep end." "Again," Talia murmured, her voice a mix of trepidation and determination. She examined one of the consoles, fingers brushing over its surface, which responded with a cascade of alien characters. There's always a deep end, I replied, stepping back to observe the celestial map in its entirety. The universe, vast and unknowable, felt closer than ever, as if it were whispering secrets meant for us alone. But it seems we've been given a chance to learn to swim. Lynn's eyes were fixed on the shifting star patterns. Captain, the map shows a trajectory, a path leading through Devor's core. It's like a navigation route. Her voice was steady, but her fingers trembled slightly, betraying the adrenaline surging through her veins. The Valerian's presence shifted, a ripple of light and shadow. Beyond the veil lies the Nexus, the heart of Devor's legacy and a beacon of knowledge. You must awaken it to reveal the threat beyond the stars. Awaken it, I echoed, the challenge presenting itself in stark relief. And what does that entail? A gentle nudge or a cosmic fireworks show? The Valerian's form stilled, its voice lowering to a harmonious whisper. The Nexus is dormant, sealed by intention. To awaken it is to understand the path. Rollo's avatar flickered into view on one of the consoles, his synthetic eyes analyzing the data. It seems this path requires more than just us. It requires resonance, a connection. The concept of resonance, a symphony of unity between us and the Ilarian station, was both abstract and profound. It hinted at an intertwining of purpose that transcended the physical and delved into the very essence of existence. Great, Talia said, injecting a note of humor into the tension. So, we're not just chasing mysteries, we're engaging in cosmic therapy. In a manner of speaking, I replied, unable to suppress a chuckle, but the levity quickly dissipated as I turned to the task at hand. We need to move swiftly. If there's a threat coming, we can't afford to dawdle. Guided by the star map, we made our way through the labyrinthine corridors of the station, the architecture shifting with each turn, growing more intricate and glowing with a gentle luminescence. The deeper we ventured, the more it felt like the station was alive, listening, responding to our presence. As we reached a massive chamber, its walls lined with pulsating conduits, the air hummed with an energy that seemed to vibrate through my bones. At the center lay an altar-like structure, with slots and interfaces that suggested a complex mechanism waiting to be activated. This is it, Lynn breathed, eyes wide with a blend of awe and anticipation. The Nexus, how do we awaken it? I stepped forward, my instincts guiding me to the center. If this requires resonance, then perhaps it's about harmonizing with the station, with the Ilarian's essence. You mean like a spiritual duet? Talia quipped, her voice laced with a wry smile. Something like that, I replied, knowing full well that the path ahead was uncharted and fraught with potential perils. Taking a deep breath, I placed my hand on the console. The station responded with a melody, a soft symphony that seemed to rise from the very walls. It wasn't just sound, it was an emotion, a presence reaching out, seeking connection. As I focused, the melody grew stronger, weaving through my senses, intertwining with my thoughts. I could feel the station's history, its purpose, a guardian, a beacon, an arbiter of knowledge. And in that moment I understood what the Ilarian had meant. The station was more than a structure, it was a living entity, a soul reaching across the void. A surge of energy flowed through my hand, reverberating up my arm and into my core. The chamber pulsed, and the Nexus awoke with a choir of voices, ancient, enduring. The star map above us erupted in light, projecting an intricate network of paths and coordinates. At its center, a swirling vortex, a representation of the threat looming just beyond the veil of stars. It was both beautiful and terrifying, a tapestry of cosmic forces far beyond our comprehension. "We did it, Captain," Lynn said, awe threading through her words. "But what now?" The Ilarian form shimmered beside us, its presence a comforting light. The Nexus has revealed the path, but the journey is yours to undertake. You must unite the paths of the cosmos, discover allies among the stars. Resonating with the station had altered me, imbued me with a sense of urgency and purpose. The path was clear, but fraught with challenges we couldn't yet fathom. "We'll do whatever it takes," I vowed, feeling the weight of the universe settle on my shoulders. "We've come this far, we won't turn back now." "We are with you, travelers," the Alarian replied, its form fading into the ambient light, leaving behind a trail of hope. As the Nexus glowed dim to a peaceful shimmer, we stood at a crossroads of destiny. The choices ahead were daunting, but together, we would forge a path through the stars, uncovering truths and facing the unknown with courage and unity. And thus our journey deeper into the cosmos continued, a dance of discovery, peril, and the unyielding spirit of exploration. Part 4: The Shifting Sands. Emerging from the Nexus chamber, we felt the spectral energy of the Alarian intertwining with our resolve. A mission now coursed through our veins, a purpose that transcended mere survival. The universe had extended its hand, and we were determined to clasp it. We trekked back to the Wayfarer's Hope asterisk, our thoughts a medley of wonder and trepidation. The path revealed by the Nexus ran through a constellation known as the Shifting Sands, a hazardous region of space notorious for its unpredictable temporal distortions and gravitational anomalies. It was said to be a place where time defied its own nature, and where alliances often found their inception. "The Shifting Sands," murmured Lynn as we settled into the cockpit. "You ever hear the legends, ships vanishing, only to reappear decades later as ghost vessels?" "Who hasn't?" I replied, sliding into my seat, the hum of the ship comforting beneath my fingers. "But legends are written by the survivors. We've got something they didn't, a cosmic guide that might just usher us through." "Optimism, Marcus," Talia smirked, leaning against the doorway with her arms crossed. "Must be a side effect of cosmic enlightenment." Rollo's voice chimed in, light-hearted yet with a note of caution. "Before we get too swept away, Captain, just a reminder. Humor doesn't bend space-time, but apparently cosmic anomalies do." "Point taken," I said, chuckling despite the tension. "Let's steer this ship into the sands and see what myths we can bust." The Wayfarer's Hope launched from Devor Station, engines thrumming with unspoken promise and potential. The Alarian energy lingered within, a guiding star amidst the vast expanse, and soon we were on course for the Shifting Sands, a nebula veiled in shimmering gold, its edges flickering as if they couldn't decide which reality to settle in. As we approached, the fabric of space seemed to ripple, the stars, constellations bending and twisting like reflections distorted in a troubled sea. It was both mesmerizing and unsettling, a reminder that this was a realm where the familiar laws of physics were little more than whispers. "Prepare for anomaly interference," Lynn warned, her eyes glued to the control panel's readout. "We'll need to keep our wits about us, and preferably all limbs inside the vehicle." We plunged into the nebula, the ship systems flickering as the temporal sands swirled around us. Time stretched and contracted in strange ways, every second feeling like both an eternity and an instant. "Feels like a cosmic funhouse," Talia said, her fingers dancing over the engineering console to stabilize our path. "Except without the mirrors or the fun." I nodded, fighting to maintain course amid the spatial distortions. "What do you make of it, Rollo?" There was a pause, then Rollo's synthetic voice came through, filled with curiosity. "This region is a collision of gravitational waves, potentially a nexus of intersecting realities, a place where time can become unstuck." The ship lurched as a particularly strong wave buffeted us, the hull groaning under the strain. The swirling sands parted briefly, revealing the outlines of a fleet of ships, their forms flickering between existence and oblivion. "Ships lost in time," Lynn suggested, eyes wide with awe. "Looks like they were caught in the sand's grasp and never let go." "Let's make sure we don't join them," I replied, forcing a calm I didn't entirely feel. With deft adjustments, I guided the ship through the evasive dance of anomalies, feeling the latent temporal energy brushing against us, whispering ancient secrets. It was then, as we navigated the twisting currents, that a presence brushed against my consciousness, a distant cry that resonated with recognition and urgency. The Ilarian's influence or something more. "I feel something," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "A call, not unlike the one that led us to Devor." Before I could process further, a ripple of energy cascaded over us, and the nebula opened up to reveal a structure. A colossal vessel of unfamiliar design, floating undisturbed, as though anchored in the heart of the sands. "Captain, sensors indicate it's ancient, likely derelict," Talia reported, her voice tinged with excitement. "But there's a power source deep within, could be another piece of the puzzle." The ship's architecture was unlike any we'd encountered, smooth, organic lines melded with crystalline accents that shimmered with latent potential. It felt both alien and oddly familiar, as if it were a bridge between the known and the unknown. The decision loomed, an opportunity to delve deeper into the mystery of the sands and the looming cosmic threat. Trust in fate had led us here, and now it demanded a leap of faith. "Prepare for boarding," I commanded, resolve hardening in my voice. "Let's uncover what secrets this vessel holds." As we approached the enigmatic structure, the sand swirled anew. Endias, both guardian and guide, a reminder that in the universe's vast tapestry, our journey was but a single thread destined to weave with countless others. The boarding process was swift, and soon we were inside the ancient vessel, its corridors an echo of forgotten epochs. The air was still, carrying a weight of untold histories. Yet there was a pulse, a heartbeat beneath the silence, a sign of life or memory waiting to be awakened. Talia and Lynn exchanged glances, anticipation and caution sharing space in their eyes. "What do you think we'll find?" Lynn asked, her voice a blend of wonder and trepidation. "Whatever it is," I replied, "it's a piece of the universe's grander scheme." And as we ventured deeper, I felt the allure of the unknown beckoning, a promise that the truths we would uncover here might just reshape our understanding of the cosmos and our place within it. The journey into the heart of the shifting sands had begun, and with it, a new chapter in our quest awaited to be written across the stars. Part 5: The Echoing Chamber. The interior of the ancient vessel was cloaked in shadows, each corner whispering tales from a bygone era. The dim, ethereal light cast by crystalline veins embedded in the walls provided just enough illumination to guide our path, their glow pulsing faintly as if echoing a forgotten heartbeat. "Feel like we've stepped into an interstellar folktale," Talia commented, her voice a low murmur that seemed to respect the vessel's sacred silence. She ran her hand along a panel, brushing off eons of stardust. "What do you suppose happened here?" I examined the hall's architecture, its alien design an enigma of fluid shapes and otherworldly patterns. A cataclysm, perhaps, or abandonment, but whatever it was, something powerful remains if it's managed to endure the shifting sands. Rollo's avatar flickered into a nearby console, his digital form silhouetted against the crystalline light. "The systems are remarkably intact, Captain. They appear dormant, waiting for a specific trigger." Or a specific visitor, Lynn interjected, her eyes bright with speculation. What if we're meant to be here like with Devor? The corridors twisted like the veins of a cosmic labyrinth, leading us deeper into the vessel's heart. With every step, the pulse of energy grew stronger, resonating through the soles of my boots and into my core. A curious sensation, like an unspoken invitation to a mystery that craved revelation. We reached a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in shadows, and at its center stood a monolithic structure, akin to an altar. Around it, translucent screens hovered, displaying intricate patterns of light and data that shifted with an almost sentient awareness. There, Lynn gestured, her voice barely a whisper. That's the power source. I approached, feeling the gentle pull of the vessel's energy. The altar hummed softly, a resonance that stirred a memory, a connection with the Valerian's call. The screens flickered, projecting star maps that morphed into symbols and archaic languages. Talia was already at work, her engineering kit deployed with a precision that spoke of countless hours spent learning technology far beyond our own. It's a repository, Captain, like a library of cosmic secrets. Can you access it? I asked, knowing full well the complexity of the task. Watch me, she replied with a grin, her fingers flying over the console. The screens responded, their patterns shifting into coherence, as though recognizing a kindred spirit. As Talia worked her magic, a flood of images and data washed over us. Visions of planets, galaxies, and events woven into the fabric of the universe's history. Among them, a familiar sight, the swirling anomaly that had enveloped us near Devor, now revealed as a bridge rather than a barrier. And then the images shifted, revealing a fleet of ships, their designs unlike any known. They moved with purpose, silhouetted against the backdrop of stars, a harbinger of the looming threat the Valerian had warned us about. Looks like we've found our bogeymen, I said, my voice a mix of awe and apprehension. The ships weren't just a passing threat, they were a cosmic force advancing with intent. But why? Lynn wondered aloud, her gaze locked onto the shifting images. What could they want with this region of space? Maybe it's about control, Talia suggested, her focus unwavering on the console. Or perhaps they're searching for something like we are. Rollo's avatar shimmered, casting a thoughtful look over the unfolding data. This vessel may have been part of a network, an ancient alliance faced with a similar threat. A cycle, I mused, the words tasting of inevitability. A battle fought and forgotten, waiting to be remembered. The chamber suddenly reverberated with a deep, resonant tone, as if the vessel itself were acknowledging our presence. The screens converged into a single image, a beacon of light, radiating outwards, calling to the cosmos. We've activated something, Talia said, her voice tinged with excitement and caution. But I can't tell if it's a call for aid or a warning. Either way, I replied, feeling the weight of the moment pressing down, it's bound to draw attention. As if on cue, the vessel shuddered beneath us, the crystal veins flaring brighter. The screens blinked out, leaving us bathed in the eerie luminescence. From the depths of the ship came a sound, a rhythmic thrum that felt like an awakening, a return to life. We might want to get moving, Lynn suggested, a hint of urgency in her voice. Before this place decides we're intruders. We retraced our steps, the vessel's corridors once again swallowing us in shadows and whispers. The energy pulsed around us, an unseen presence guiding our path back to the Wayfarer's Hope asterisk. As we reached the airlock, I paused, casting one last glance into the vessel's depths. It was a silent promise, a vow to return, to uncover the secrets left behind by those who had seen before. Once aboard our ship, the interior felt like a safe haven, its familiar hum a soothing balm against the unknown. Yet outside, the shifting sands continued to churn, their temporal dance relentless and unruly. "Marcus," Talia said, her voice carrying the weight of what we'd seen, "do you think we're ready for what's coming?" I met her gaze, my resolve firm despite the uncertainty. "We'll have to be," I replied. "The universe has plans for us and we've got a beacon to follow." With that, the Wayfarer's hope powered up, engines surging to life, ready to navigate the shifting tides of space and destiny. And as we set our course out of the sands, the stars watched over us, silent witnesses to the unfolding saga, a cosmic tale of redemption, courage, and the unyielding quest for truth. Part 6: The Celestial Confluence. Exiting the shifting sands was like stepping from twilight into dawn. The universe unfolded itself, stars reasserting their fixed positions in a sky that seemed serene, indifferent to the chaos we just navigated. Behind us, the nebula thrashed on, a tempest of time and space, while ahead lay the promise of clarity and answers, or so I hoped. Once clear of the sands, the Wayfarer's hope slipped into real-time communication range, and we pinged the star maps for nearby systems. The beacon we'd unwittingly activated on the derelict vessel had sent out a signal, a call or a challenge, and that wave of energy had pointed us toward the celestial confluence, an enigmatic region where stellar paths converged in a shimmering tapestry of ethereal light. "Looks like we've got a rendezvous," Lynn said, glancing from her console to the sweeping expanse ahead. "The confluence is teeming with activity. Sensors are picking up all sorts of signatures." "Not exactly a casual meetup spot," Talia added, her eyes wide with curiosity. "This place is legendary, a crossroads for traders, diplomats, and apparently ancient cosmic entities." We approached the confluence cautiously, the ship's sensors alive with data that painted a picture of organized chaos. Ships of every design flitted through the starfield, their paths crisscrossing like woven threads in a cosmic loom. Here, the universe felt like a living organism, vibrant and interconnected. "Attention, incoming vessel," crackled a voice over comms, rough yet cordial. "Identify yourselves and state your business at the celestial confluence." I leaned forward, toggling the comms with practiced ease. "This is Captain Marcus Hale of the Wayfarer's Hope *. We're here following a signal, an invitation, if you will." The voice responded with a chuckle. "An invitation, eh? Well, the confluence welcomes all, though few come without purpose. Proceed to docking coordinates. You'll find the Council of Stars waiting." "The Council of Stars," Lynn echoed, her eyebrows rising in intrigue. "Sounds like the beginning of an intergalactic epic." "Or a bureaucratic nightmare," Talia quipped, a playful glint in her eyes. "Let's just hope they're the friendly sort." As we docked at one of the massive hubs orbiting the confluence, I felt a strange mixture of anticipation and trepidation. Here, amid the swirl of galactic politics and ancient alliances, we were to find allies or adversaries who knew of the looming threat and possibly how to face it. We disembarked into the heart of the docking hub, a bustling atrium teeming with life. Aliens of every conceivable form moved with purpose, their languages a tapestry of sound that filled the air with an almost musical quality. Vendors hawked wares from across the stars, and holographic displays showcased news and events from distant worlds. "Feels like a carnival," Talia commented, eyes sparkling with wonder, "except with more tentacles." "And fewer overpriced snacks," Rollo added through my earpiece, his voice wry. Guided by our contact's instructions, we made our way to the council chamber, a vast hall lined with banners displaying sigils of countless species. The air was thick with anticipation, the weight of diplomacy and strategy etched into every corner. "Captain Marcus Hale," boomed a voice as we entered, firm and regal. "Welcome to the celestial confluence." The speaker was a tall figure of flowing robes and luminescent eyes, their presence powerful yet welcoming. Around them sat representatives from myriad worlds, a coalition of the galaxy's oldest civilizations and newest explorers. "I am Inara, head of the Council of Stars," the figure continued, gesturing for us to sit. "We have awaited your arrival, for you carry the beacon of the ancients." I inclined my head, acknowledging their greeting. "The beacon's call brought us here, but we seek understanding. A threat rises beyond the known, and we've been tasked with finding a way to oppose it." Inara's gaze met mine, unflinching. "You are correct. The ancients foresaw a time when the stars would tremble, and their wisdom was encoded in vessels like the one you've discovered." As Inara spoke, the council chamber's central holographic display activated, projecting a three-dimensional map of the universe, its stars gleaming like scattered jewels. Highlighted was the fleet we'd seen, their progress slow but inexorable, edging ever closer to our region of space. "They are the Harbingers," Inara said, voice echoing with gravity. "A force driven by hunger for knowledge and control, a relic of a past conflict reignited." A murmur ran through the assembled delegates, a ripple of unease. The weight of existential threat hung heavy in the air, a shared understanding that the balance of the cosmos rested on the decisions made here. "What can we do?" I asked, meeting Inara's gaze, aware that our quest had shifted from exploratory to imperative. "The sea. Onfluence stands ready to aid you," Inara replied, their voice a beacon of hope. "There are paths yet unexplored, allies ancient and new. You must seek the lost citadel, a repository of wisdom beyond measure, hidden in the Pleiades nebula." "The lost citadel," Talia whispered, the name resonating like a forbidden melody. Lynn nodded, a fire kindling in her eyes, "a quest worthy of the legends." Inara's eyes softened, their luminescence like a guiding star. "The universe has chosen you for this path, Captain. The Harbingers cannot be faced alone. Forge your alliances, gather your strength, and seek the citadel." With a nod of understanding, I felt the enormity of our task settle around us. It was a daunting journey, but the galaxy was with us, and the confluence was a crossroads where stories began. As we left the chamber, I felt the silent promise of the stars, an oath to uncover the secrets of the citadel, to stand against the encroaching darkness, and to ensure that the light of the universe would never fade. The fate of the cosmos lay ahead, written in the interwoven paths of destiny and choice, waiting for us to find the courage to follow it to its conclusion. Part 7. The Nebula's Embrace Asterisk. The air aboard the Asterisk Wayfarer's Hope was charged with purpose as we set course for the Pleiades Nebula, each breath a silent promise to unravel the mysteries of the lost citadel. The star map hummed with life beneath our fingers, the pathway traced in threads of light that stretched across the void, calling to us like a distant song. The confluence faded into the backdrop of the cosmos, its vibrancy now a memory as the nebula loomed ahead, a tapestry of swirling blues and shimmering violets. The Pleiades held its secrets close, veiled in the cosmic dust and stellar winds that whispered ancient tales to those who dared to listen. "Entering the nebula," Lynn announced, her hands steady on the controls as the ship eased into the swirling mists. "Visibility's dropping, but sensors are compensating." "Let's hope the Citadel's not just another bedtime story," Talia said from her station, a wry grin lighting her features. "I'm not keen on spending weeks searching for a myth." "Legends often have roots in truth," I replied, the nebula's ethereal glow reflected in my eyes. We just need to find the right thread. As if answering my words, the ship's sensors flared with unexpected activity, a surge of energy that pulsed like a heartbeat. It was a beacon, a guide woven into the very fabric of the nebula, pulling us deeper into its embrace. There, Rollo's voice chimed in, excitement threading through the digital cadence. Coordinates align with an energy signature, definitely not natural, could be our citadel. The Wayfarer's hope maneuvered through the nebula, its hull aglow with the colors of distant stars. The energy surge grew stronger, resonating with a frequency that hummed through the ship, a lullaby that promised revelation. We emerged into a clearing where the nebula parted to reveal a sight that stole my breath. The lost citadel, an immense structure suspended in the void, its architecture an intricate dance of crystalline arches and glowing runes. "Looks inviting," Talia murmured, awe and skepticism intermingling, like someone knew we'd be coming. As we approached, the citadel's surface shimmered with latent energy, its light casting prismatic reflections across the ship's hull. This was a place of power, a beacon of knowledge that beckoned us with silent grace. "Prepare for docking," I instructed, feeling the gravity of the moment settle in my chest. "Let's see what secrets the Citadel's willing to share." The docking procedure was seamless, the ship aligning with the Citadel's entry point as if guided by an unseen hand. The airlock cycled open, revealing the Citadel's interior, a vast hall of light and shadow where echoes of centuries past lingered like ghosts. Stepping into the hall felt like entering another realm, the very air imbued with a sentience that thrummed beneath the surface. The architecture was a symphony of design, a blend of artistry and function, every line and curve speaking of a civilization that revered knowledge above all. "We're not alone," Lynn observed, her voice a mere whisper that reverberated in the space. I followed her gaze to see figures emerging from the shadows, holographic projections of the ancients, their forms both ethereal and imposing. They moved with purpose, embodying the wisdom of the ages as they assembled before us. "Travelers," one of the figures spoke, its voice a harmonious blend of tones that resonated with the Citadel's energy. "You seek the guardianship of the stars." I stepped forward, meeting the gaze of the holographic council. "We seek understanding, to stand against the harbingers and protect the balance of the cosmos." The figures exchanged glances, a silent communication beyond our comprehension. "The Citadel holds the knowledge you desire, but it comes with a price, a test of will and understanding." Talia arched an eyebrow, her curiosity piqued. "A test? You mean like a cosmic pop quiz?" The figure's lips curved into a semblance of a smile. "In a way, you must navigate the labyrinth of echoes, a journey through time and memory. Only then will the Citadel's wisdom be yours." The task loomed large, a challenge that felt as daunting as it was essential. But the stakes demanded more than caution. They demanded courage, for the universe itself hung in the balance. "Then we accept," I declared, my voice steady with resolve. "We'll navigate the labyrinth and earn the wisdom of the ancients." The figures nodded, their forms shifting as a pathway emerged. A corridor of light that spiraled into the heart of the Citadel, a journey that promised revelation and risk in equal measure. As we stepped onto the path, the air shimmered with anticipation, the Citadel's energy wrapping around us like a cloak. Here, in the embrace of the stars, we would uncover the secrets of the universe and forge the alliances needed to face the harbinger's dark intent. And as we ventured forth, the Citadel whispered its welcome, a reminder that even in the vastness of space, we were never truly alone. The journey continued, a quest woven in threads of destiny and discovery, leading us ever onward into the heart of the unknown. Part 8: The Labyrinth of Time. As we stepped onto the pathway of light, the citadel transformed around us, its interior reshaping into a vast labyrinth of corridors shimmering with the resonance of time. Each step felt like a ripple through history, the echoes of past, present, and future intertwining in a symphony that resonated in the very marrow of our existence. The air hummed with the pulse of ancient knowledge, and I felt a strange sense of familiarity, as if the path had been walked by countless seekers before us. It was a place where time folded upon itself, a tapestry of moments suspended in the threads of eternity. With each turn, the corridors revealed glimpses of forgotten epochs, holographic windows into worlds long past, where civilizations rose and fell, leaving their indelible marks on the fabric of the universe. The path was a living history, a testament to the enduring spirit of life across the stars. "Feels like walking through a storybook," Talia murmured, her eyes wide with wonder as she paused before a shimmering vista of a vibrant world, its skies alive with the dance of twin suns. "Or an intergalactic museum," Lynn added, her voice tinged with awe. "Every turn a new exhibit." Our journey through the labyrinth was both a challenge and a revelation. The path demanded more than mere exploration. It called for introspection, a reflection on the choices that had led us here and the ones still to come. As we navigated the corridors, the citadel seemed to respond to our presence, its energy shifting in harmony with our intentions. The air was thick with the scent of stardust and the promise of discovery, each moment a reminder of the labyrinth's ultimate purpose, a test of worthiness and understanding. It was during one of these moments of reflection that we encountered a vast chamber, its walls lined with crystalline conduits that pulsed with the rhythm of the citadel's heart. In its center stood a pedestal, atop which rested a sphere of radiant light, its glow a beacon in the dimness. "Looks like we've found our prize," Talia remarked, her voice laced with anticipation. "The core of the labyrinth." But as we approached, the chamber shifted, the air shimmering with the presence of an unseen force, a guardian, perhaps, or the embodiment of the citadel's will. "Travelers of the stars," a voice echoed, filling the chamber with a harmonious cadence. It was the voice of the labyrinth, ancient and knowing. "You seek the wisdom of the ancients, yet wisdom requires understanding and sacrifice." The sphere pulsed with energy, its light casting fractal shadows across the chamber's walls. It was a moment of decision, a choice that would define the path ahead. "What do we need to do?" I asked, meeting the gaze of the unseen presence with resolve. "To claim the knowledge you seek, you must confront that which you fear, the shadows of your own creation," the voice replied, its words a tapestry of challenge and promise. "Only then will the path to the citadel's wisdom be revealed." A silence settled over us, the weight of the task pressing down with palpable intensity. It was a trial of self, an exploration of the soul that demanded courage and clarity. "Shadows of our creation," Lynn murmured, her voice a blend of introspection and determination. "It's about facing our past, isn't it? The choices that haunt us." Talia nodded, her expression contemplative. "And the choices we're yet to make, this place. It's a mirror reflecting back what we need to see." With a breath that felt like both a sigh and a vow, I stepped forward, reaching for the sphere. As my fingers brushed its surface, the chamber transformed, the walls dissolving into a cascade of memories, visions drawn from the well of my consciousness. It was like falling through a kaleidoscope of my own making, a journey through the milestones and missteps that had shaped my life. Each scene was a fragment of truth, a piece of the puzzle that defined my existence. I saw the faces of those I'd loved and lost, the moments of triumph and despair that had carved their marks upon my heart. I felt the weight of unspoken regrets and the lightness of choices made with conviction. And then, as if from a great distance, I heard the voices of my crew, Talia, Lynn, and even Rollo, reaching out through the fog of memory, their presence a lifeline in the swirling torrent of time. "We're with you, Marcus," Talia's voice cut through the haze, steady and unwavering. "Whatever you see, we're not going anywhere." Her words anchored me, pulling me back from the depths of introspection. The visions receded, the chamber reasserting itself around us, the sphere now a tangible weight in my hands. The presence in the chamber shifted, its voice a soft echo of approval. "You have faced the shadows and emerged with clarity. The knowledge of the ancients is yours to wield." As the sphere's light enveloped us, I felt the citadel's wisdom seep into my consciousness. A tapestry of strategies and alliances, paths yet unexplored and destinies waiting to be fulfilled. The trial had reshaped us, leaving behind a sense of purpose that thrummed with the energy of the stars. We were ready to face the harbingers and to stand as guardians of the balance. With the citadel's blessing, we made our way back to the Wayfarer's Hope asterisk, the corridors of the labyrinth now a familiar path, one we walked with renewed determination. As the ship powered up, the nebula's embrace released us, sending us back into the vast expanse of space, the knowledge of the ancients a guiding star in the unknown that lay ahead. Our journey continued, a quest woven in the fabric of time and memory, leading us ever onward toward the heart of the cosmic conflict and the promise of a brighter future. Part 9: The Symphony of Stars. The Wayfarer's Hope sailed through the starlit sea, the knowledge of the ancients a luminous thread woven into the fabric of our minds. The stars seemed brighter now, each a beacon of possibility, their light a whisper of encouragement as we ventured further into the unknown. The cosmos, vast and mysterious, felt more like a companion than an adversary. The Pleiades Nebula receded behind us, its secrets now a part of our saga. Ahead lay a stretch of space known as the Echoing Rift, a region where the whispers of the universe gathered, a place where the boundaries between realities thinned and resonance between worlds was possible. "This is it," Lynn remarked, her hands steady on the controls as we approached the rift's edge. "The Echoing Rift looks like a sound wave turned into a light show." The rift shimmered with cosmic energy, its surface rippling like a pond disturbed by an unseen hand. Flecks of luminous dust spiraled through the void, each one an echo of a distant star. "Feels like we're standing at the threshold of a cosmic symphony," Talia mused, her eyes alight with the possibilities. "You think the harbingers know about this place?" "Let's hope not," I replied, my gaze fixed on the swirling expanse before us. "But if they do, we've got to find a way to make this place work for us." The rift was a confluence of power and potential, a knot in the tapestry of space-time where alliances could be forged, where the tide of the coming conflict might be turned. As we navigated deeper into the rift, the ship's sensors crackled with activity. Patterns of energy surged around us, aligning with the echoes of the Citadel's wisdom that thrummed within our minds. "Marcus, we're picking up something," Rollo reported, his voice tinged with intrigue. "Unidentified signals like the ones from the Citadel, but distinct." We followed the signals, the ship weaving through the tapestry of light and shadow, drawn toward a focal point where the cosmic energies converged. What we found was unexpected, a station nestled in the heart of the rift, its architecture a blend of ancient strength and modern grace. It was a citadel in its own right, a stronghold amid the swirling chaos. Looks like we're not the first to find refuge here, Lynn commented, scanning the station with a mix of curiosity and caution. Should we knock or just let ourselves in? I'd say they're expecting us, Talia replied, gesturing to the docking bay that opened in silent invitation, its lights guiding us in like a lighthouse through the storm. The Wayfarer's hope settled into the dock, its systems humming with the promise of discovery. We disembarked into the station's welcoming corridors, the air tinged with the scent of metal and stardust, a reminder of the frontier we inhabited. The station's interior was a marvel of engineering and artistry, its halls lined with images of distant worlds and forgotten stars. Here, the echoes of the citadel met their kindred spirits, weaving a tapestry of history and hope. We were greeted by a figure draped in robes of shimmering fabric, their presence both commanding and serene. Their eyes, like polished stones, met mine with a knowing gaze. "Welcome, travelers. I am Kale, keeper of the rift." "It's an honor to be here," I replied, feeling an instant kinship with this guardian of the crossroads. "We seek knowledge and allies for the fight ahead." Kale nodded, a gesture that felt like the passing of a torch. "The echoing rift is a place of convergence, where paths intertwine and destinies align. You are here because you must be." The sense of purpose was palpable, a guiding force that resonated with the rhythm of the universe. Kale led us deeper into the station, past chambers filled with scholars and strategists, each one contributing to the symphony of preparation that filled the air. In the heart of the station, a vast chamber unfolded before us, its walls lined with screens displaying a panorama of the galaxy. It was a map of the cosmos, a testament to the interconnectedness of all things. Kale gestured to the map, their voice a soothing melody. "The harbingers approach, but they are not undefeatable. Here in the rift we combine our strengths, knowledge, resources, and resolve." The strategy was bold, a plan that required unity and vision. It was a call to arms that extended across the stars, a reminder that in the face of darkness, light must be gathered, amplified, and unleashed. "We'll do whatever it takes," I promised, feeling the weight of leadership settle on my shoulders like a mantle of stars. "We stand with you and the rift." Kale's smile was a beacon of encouragement. "Then let the symphony begin." The rift was a confluence of harmony and strength, a bastion against the encroaching storm. Here, amid the echoes of time and space, we would find allies and forge the bonds necessary to face the harbingers. As the preparations continued, I fell. Tia stirring within, a sense of destiny and determination that rose like a crescendo in my heart. The universe was a vast symphony, and we were its conductors, poised to weave a melody of hope and resistance. Together we would face the challenge, embrace the unknown, and stand as guardians of the stars. The journey was far from over, but as the echoes of the rift enveloped us, I knew that we were ready. Our path stretched onward, a tapestry woven from the strands of time and courage, leading us ever forward toward the dawn of a new beginning. Part 10: The Resonant Accord. The echoes of the rift thrummed through the station, an unseen symphony weaving through the air, breathing life into our preparations. The time had come to forge connections, to weave the disparate strands of our newfound alliance into a tapestry strong enough to withstand the coming storm. Our task was daunting, yet as we gathered in the station's central chamber, a vast expanse lit by the soft glow of distant stars, I felt the hum of unity resonating in the air. Representatives from across the galaxy stood shoulder to shoulder, each one a beacon of defiance against the harbingers, advancing shadow. "Impressive turnout," Talia said, her eyes sweeping the assembly. Looks like word travels fast in the rift. Hope carries its own momentum, Lynn replied, a thoughtful note in her voice. And we've got plenty of that to share. As Cale took the stage, their presence commanded the room's attention. Friends, allies, travelers of the stars, we gather at the brink of a new dawn. The harbingers approach, but we are not powerless. Together, we can light the way. The crowd's response was a ripple of resolve, a shared acknowledgement of the task that lay before us. It was a moment of clarity, a symphony of voices united in purpose. The air shifted, carrying the subtle scent of blooming starflowers, a reminder of the beauty that still thrived in the universe, even in its darkest corners. It was a fragrance imbued with hope, a promise of renewal. "We've got to act fast," I said, meeting Cale's gaze. "The harbingers won't wait for us to finish the overture." Cale nodded, their eyes alight with determination. "Agreed. The echoing rift is a focal point, a place where ideas and energies converge. We must harness this resonance to amplify our strengths." The plan was bold, a coordinated effort to harness the rift's energy, channeling it into a defensive barrier capable of repelling the harbinger's advance. It required precision and collaboration, a dance of strategy and synergy across the stars. As Talia coordinated with the station's engineers, Lynn engaged with navigators from allied fleets, each piece of the puzzle falling into place with practiced ease. Meanwhile, Rollo interfaced with the Rift's data networks, his digital presence a constant hum of information and analysis. "It's like orchestrating a celestial ballet," he remarked, his voice tinged with amusement. The preparations were intense, a blur of activity that swirled around us like the rift itself, yet amid the whirlwind, a profound sense of purpose anchored us. And then amidst the flurry of readiness, a voice called out from the crowd, a melodic tone that resonated through the hall. "Captain Hale, may I speak with you?" I turned to see a figure stepping forward, their presence both intriguing and enigmatic. Clad in robes of shimmering silver, their eyes were galaxies unto themselves, deep wells of wisdom and mystery. "I am Sira," they introduced, inclining their head in greeting. "I bring greetings from the Starborn. We've watched your journey and wish to offer our aid." "The Starborn," I repeated, the name carrying a weight of legend and wonder. "I've heard tales of your people, but never thought I'd see one of you here." Sira's lips curved into a gentle smile. "The Starborn are guardians of knowledge, and the time has come for us to stand with those who would protect the balance of the cosmos." Their presence was a welcome surprise, a glimmer of starfire amid the gathering storm. The Starborn were known for their wisdom, and their allegiance was a boon we hadn't anticipated. "We'd be honored to have your support," I said, feeling the magnitude of the moment. As the preparations continued, Sira shared their insights, their knowledge adding new dimensions to our strategy. Together, we wove a plan that balanced the strength of the rift with the wisdom of the Starborn, a tapestry of power and potential. With the stage set and the actors ready, the rift's resonance reached a crescendo, its power a living force that surged through the station, binding us together. The moment of truth loomed like a distant star, a beacon guiding us through the darkness. The harbingers were on the move, their presence a shadow that edged ever closer, yet here, within the rift's embrace, we stood ready to face them. The station's systems pulsed with energy, a symphony of light and sound that reverberated through my very bones. It was a song of hope and defiance, a melody that promised victory born of unity. And as we prepared to meet the harbingers head-on, I felt the pulse of the universe in my veins, each beat a promise that we would endure, that we would triumph. In the heart of the echoing rift, Amid the resplendent swirl of cosmic dust and shared resolve, we awaited our fate, poised to create a new dawn where light overcame the encroaching night. Our journey was far from over, but as the symphony reached its peak, I knew that. We were ready to take our place in the galaxy's grand design, a dance of stars that would illuminate the path to a brighter future.